Welcome to ICT for Dummies episodes. Alright, guys.
Wait, what episode are we on,
10, bro. Yeah, it's fucking
Dude,
embarrassing.
I grew up, had kids, died, came back to life, and now we're starting to do...
Bro, GTA 6 is about to come out, guys.
Yeah,
this is
GTA
crazy,
6 is about to come out.
No, genuinely, this is like, from the bottom of my heart, our hearts, we are so sorry. And the reality is that we didn't stop the series because we didn't want to finish it, but we just realized that we hadn't shown you a lot of like our lives outside of trading, and we wanted to just show you a little bit of other shit that goes on in our life, because I don't want it to just be trading related. But now we're gonna push out this entire series. It's gonna be fucking insane. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Actually lock the fuck in. And this is about to be the sauciest shit the world has ever seen. Literally the sauciest series the world has ever seen. I mean, it's already been super saucy. We're underrated, but it's fine. You're not going to find something that explains these concepts as well as we do. Anyways, let's spin back that intro. Welcome to ICT for Dummies, episode 10.
Daily bias. Daily bias.
Yeah, I'm rolling hella deep. I feel like Adele.
Daily
Yeah,
bias.
I'm sucking on his deep. Bitch, I'm going to hell.
Hey, yo.
Alright, yeah, chill on me, chat.
Fuck.
Alright, let's run this bitch up. So, ZC. Ooh, whoa.
And today, guys,
Whoa.
we are going to be covering daily bias. Like Pat said, this is going to be probably like the sauciest episode we have ever recorded. Yeah, definitely the sauciest episode we ever recorded. It's going to be going over drawn liquidity and how I find my bias every day. We're going to first get into why the market is moving, get into the 2 ways to actually find your bias and drawn liquidity, and the 5 questions that you have to be asking yourself, or really like 3 questions you have to be asking yourself, and that's how you'll find your drawn liquidity. And then from there, I'll show you guys some drawings, and then we'll get into some chart examples.
Oh, drawn liquidity. That's lit. If I've ever heard of lit. Super cool.
Super cool.
Can we move our face cam to the right, because it's going to be covering the minute time frames and shit. They're going to need to know what time frame we're on, so it's better.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
They don't have to know the minute time frame.
Yeah, they do, because if I'm going on the hourly chart right now, they need to know that we're on the hourly chart. So let's move it over to the right side. I know it's not usual, but
guys, I don't feel comfortable right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. We're fine. We're on the right side now.
So let's get into this. All right. So first off, guys, again, let's get into this. All right, so why does the market move? Okay, so when you're finding your bias for the day, you have to be asking yourself, why is the market even moving in the first place, right? First off, we can see here we have rebalance inefficiencies. So an inefficiency is simply just a fair value gap. And price likes to trade back towards bullish fair value gaps and bearish fair value gaps. And this gives people a better entry, right? A better entry in price. So you're not just entering off of a really high premium, right? When you get these large gaps up, price likes to rebalance into these ranges and into these fair value gaps to then send price higher, okay?
Does the size of the gap matter?
The size of the gap does not matter.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. All right.
You good?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, just double checking because that was sounded like something else. I don't know.
That's good.
Anyways, next up, similar. Oops, sorry, I'm
Yeah, just shake it a little bit more, pal. No, keep going. I'll hold it for you the entire time, actually.
I'm good. I don't even like touching the desk either way.
Okay.
Next up, we have rebalance to equilibrium. Okay, so similar to inefficiencies, but this time it's going to be when we have a really fat range. So I'll show you guys an example soon. But when we have a really big impulse leg where the market just shoots up or just dumps, right, we're going to have a big range that price likes to rebalance to, right? Again, people don't want to be shorting in a discount, for example, here, right? In this scenario, we want to be shorting in a premium. And then when we're longing, people don't want to be longing in a premium. People want to be longing in a discount, right? We already went over this in our premium and discount video. So if you haven't seen that already, please go watch that, because it's going to explain a lot, and you definitely need to be watching this that video first. And finally, price likes to move, and price does move to seek liquidity, okay? And we had a whole entire 2-part series already on seeking liquidity, so go watch that, and it went over all of the liquidity pools. So we have, buy side, sell side,
gay side,
right? And pretty much all of the prominent liquidity.
There's no side. Buy side, sell side, but there should be some side.
Because when the market's just chopping around,
side.
That's gas.
Yeah, super gas.
Seeking the side liquidity.
Super gas.
But yeah, guys, we already went over all the different types of liquidity pools. So the prominent ones that you guys should be remembering is like previous day high, previous day low, session liquidity. Any time-based liquidity is really going to be important. Also equal highs, equal lows, low resistance liquidity as targets, right? And honestly, we can move on from this, right? This is pretty much all you guys really need to be asking yourself is why is the market moving and where the draw on liquidity is. Okay,
Yeah.
so
yeah, I mean, this is really the three main aspects of the market, and if you can understand these, then you've practically mastered the markets. But yeah, now let's get into how do you find your drawn liquidity, your DOL, your BBL. So you ask yourself, are we delivering from buy side or are we delivering from sell side, right? So Blake, tell me here, what do you think is happening on the left side?
okay, so
Wrong. So here we're delivering from sell side. You can see that right here, price comes down, it sweeps some sell side, and we're not displacing below the sell side, we're delivering from the sell side. And in the process of that, obviously, as we were delivering towards the sell side, we created probably bearish fair value gaps. And so then after we deliver up from sweeping the sell side, we start invalidating this bearish fair value gap. And now we are respecting bullish PBTRADING. So in summary, wow. We are delivering from sell side. We are disrespecting bearish PBTRADING, and we are respecting bullish PBTRADING, right? So these are the two questions you need to ask yourself. Are we delivering from buy side or sell side? And what PBTRADING are we respecting versus disrespecting? Forgot to say that before. And here, we're delivering from sell side. We're disrespecting bearish PBTRADING and respecting bullish PBTRADING, right? And all this is in the process of delivering to some sort of drawn liquidity, which Blake marked out with this zesty eyeball. All right. If you ever see those TikTokers putting eyeballs at their drawn liquidity, just know that they've never gotten a payout.
true.
Very true. Now on the right side, we have the vice versa. Here we're delivering from buy side because you can see that price comes down, it comes up, it sweeps this buy side, and now we start getting bearish order flow. Here, we're disrespecting bullish and respecting bearish, and we're delivering towards that drawn liquidity, which it can be seen here with this eyeball. We don't know what this mysterious drawn liquidity is, but, you know, just know that if someone has an eyeball there, they're probably hitting a 1 to 20 RR, and it's the first one they've had in 9 months.
True that.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, these are the questions that you should be asking yourself. So every day when I'm coming into my day, I don't know. When I'm coming into the day every day, all right, bro, there's no good way to say this. When I'm looking at my daily bias, I'm trying to find my daily bias.
Why are you looking at a daily bias?
When I'm trying to find my daily bias, I'm asking myself these questions. First question I'm asking myself is, are we delivering from buy side or sell side? First, I just want to see that's what are we generally doing, right? And then from there, I'm looking at what PBTRADING are we respecting versus disrespecting. And then finally, I'm literally just asking myself, why should the market even be moving here, right? Are we going to rebalance towards a range? Are we going to be seeking out some sort of liquidity? Are we running stop losses, right? Or are we going to be trading into some sort of inefficiency, right? Because the market is always moving for those three reasons. And to find out if the market is going to go there, you first need to see if we're delivering from buy side or sell side, and then you need to see if we are respecting or disrespecting these PBTRADINGs. And yeah, I mean, from here, this is just literally just drawings, right? And I'll show you guys now some chart examples that I send out every single day in our premium Discord. I send out a daily bias, and I basically just call the market live in front of everyone. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. And I'll put on my speedy glasses for this one, baby.
Oh, wait, you actually look hella aura. Wait, this should be the thumbnail.
Sorry.
Wait, not
sorry,
something. Hey.
Wait, one more time.
Smiling?
Wait, I don't like my smile.
Or like daily bias right here. Yeah, it's hard.
Or just like this, ready?
Oh, that's fire. That's fire. All right.
Lock the fuck in.
Lock the fuck in. Oh my god.
All right, guys. So, gonna get into this. So, starting off, I want to start with this day. So this was on
7/2/25.
Yeah, so
that's
this is
July
recent.
2nd, 2025.
Okay, so I said on this day I had a bullish bias coming into the morning. We swept previous day low, the intermediate low inside this daily BIST, and we're currently displacing higher. Sorry. And if we get this 15-minute hourly CISD, we can expect London highs in a recent buy side. As internal liquidity pools, we have data highs, it's obvious draw, and I want to see that get hit. Okay.
Wait, by the way, I just want to say, if this sounds like complete Chinese to you,
Yeah.
Definitely rewatch some of our videos, because here we're talking a lot about basic liquidity, previous day low, being the previous day's lowest point. Internal low is going to be that internal low of your current trading leg. And then daily BISI, think of that as just a bullish fair value gap, right? That's usually what we're referring to if we say daily BISI, so like a daily bullish fair value gap.
And a SIBI is a bearish fair value gap.
Yeah, so it's really, sometimes it just matters how zesty you're feeling, which term you want to use. But fair value gap, like bearish fair value gap, SIBI, bullish fair value gap, BISI.
Buy side imbalance versus sell side imbalance.
Yeah,
okay.
all that shit. And then CISD, well,
CIC is a change in state delivery. So it's the same thing here with like this market structure shift you're seeing. It's just a change in order flow, right? We're changing delivery here when we start displacing through these PDRAs. And we start now respecting these PDRAs. Okay.
We would make a video on CIC, but I really don't think it's that important.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll chef it up later down the line. But yeah, think of just like a market structure shift.
Yeah. So from here, guys, I'll show you what this looks like on the charts, right? So we have a sweep of free state low, and then we are delivering from here, and we are disrespecting these PDRAs, right? And then we have clear internal targets. Okay, so the questions I'm asking myself, right? Number one, why would the market even be moving in this scenario, okay? Well, as you can see here, we have data highs resting. Okay, so what is this? This is a liquidity pool, right? We went over this in our liquidity part 2 video of different types of liquidity pools. Data highs is a really, really strong draw on liquidity. So this is going to be a great reason for the market to be moving here. Also, what do we have? Very prominent buy side liquidity and relative equal highs here, right? So these stacked up highs is going to be a very strong draw as well. Okay, so 2 reasons for the market to be moving. First being this external buy side liquidity here, and then also we have data highs here on the internal time frame being the reason that the market could be moving. Okay, now next question I'm gonna be asking myself how I actually found this bias is, where are we delivering from? Are we delivering from buy side or sell side? Here we are delivering from sell side, right? Being previous day low. Nice, right? So we're delivering from sell side. And then what PDRAs are we respecting versus disrespecting? Well, we are currently disrespecting this bearish PDRA right here. And we are going to be most likely respecting these bullish PDRAs. We can assume that. And that's what I said. And we're just displacing higher, right? And then as you can see here, show you guys the result. After we get that change in state of delivery, this was an order block. We just got a close above this.
You can also use a 1 minute inverse for reference here. We had a tiny 1 minute inverse here, which is usually what we use.
Where?
Literally, right?
It was a 15-minute time frame.
Oh, it's a 15-minute time frame?
Yeah.
Okay, well, even if we're using inversions, you can see that if you don't want to use like a 15-minute CISD, which, I mean, to be honest, we use inversions to determine flips in order flow, unless price isn't giving us any inversions because price is choppier on the day, then you can usually refer to like a CISD. But inversions work amazing for confirming a flip in order flow. So, right, we've been bearish for a while. We take out previous day low, so we're delivering from sell side here. And then you can see that we start invalidating these bearish 15-minute fair value gaps. They're small, but they're there. And so that means we're now disrespecting bearish PDRAs, right? And we're going to start respecting bullish PDRAs. And of course, what are we going to be delivering towards? That drawn liquidity, that buy side up there. So we're seeking liquidity after seeking liquidity.
Right, exactly. After delivering from that sell side, and now we're seeking more liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. All right, lots of bias there. So this is another daily bias where I said, I was leaning bullish. This was more of a condition-based day. You want to explain conditions?
Yeah, I mean, so really when we say it's a condition-based day, I mean, we'll read out the bias first. So Blake said, I'm leaning bullish coming into the day, nearing all-time highs. Ideal scenario coming into the morning would be for 9:30 to open lower, trading into the 4-hour bullish fair value gap and taking out London lows, then getting lower time frame long out of that. So what that would look like is if we want to take longs, then we want to see price retrace lower into that 4-hour bullish fair value gap, and then we want to see that 4-hour get respected. Also, if we hit that 4-hour, we'd simultaneously be sweeping London lows, and then a long out of that would look like a clean, inversion in the 1 to 5 minute time frame towards the upside, confirming that narrative. So this gap is what we call condition, because if we end up breaking it, and by breaking it, we usually mean if we end up inversing it, we're expecting price to displace lower. Now, it's always like when you have a condition, there actually needs to be a reason for why price could go in either direction. So we know here that if price respects this 4-hour bullish for value gap, then we have a reason to be bullish and we have a reason to look for longs because we know that there's resting buy side up here that we can take. And overall, we're in an all-time highs narrative, right? During all-time highs trading, your ideal scenario is to catch some sort of long because you can typically get better moves. But just because we're at all-time highs doesn't mean we have to keep ripping higher. So we set a condition like this 4-hour condition. If price invalidates it or starts running through it, then can we expect lower prices? Yes. Why? Because we have sell side resting below that we can target. So there would be a reason. If price doesn't have a reason to go in a certain direction, don't just try to force a trade in that direction. And that's a mistake a lot of people make. And so that sell side would be like previous day low. And then there's like a daily fair value gap below as well. So
yeah, we just end up ripping this day. So
yeah,
we're at all-time highs.
Yeah, so that's just like an example of how we would trade condition based on the higher time frame. And as you can, what the fuck? Where'd I go?
Yeah, right there. Trade into the gap.
Yeah, so as you can see, I mean, being that we're at all-time highs, what do you think is going to be the most probable scenario? We respect that 4-hour bullish for value gap, and we end up ripping higher and seeking that liquidity above. What happens? Price retraces lower into that 4-hour bullish for value gap. That gets respected. We end up seeking that buy side. Oh, wait, sorry. In this day, actually, oh, yeah, we did end up hitting the 4-hour. Yeah, that candle ended up hitting. And then the next one ended up delivering higher. But, yeah, I mean, now if you're watching this, we're resting most likely near all-time highs conditions, and we probably will be for maybe a few months. So just make sure that when you are really premium,
not a few months.
Yeah, maybe not that long, but just if you're ever trading all-time highs and you're too premiumed to be like really looking for a long, wait for a higher time frame pullback into a key level, like a 4-hour bullish for value gap, an hourly bullish for value gap, and then if that gets respected, you're confirming that narrative that price wants to go higher.
Yeah. Just want to double check we're recording because that always happens.
It does always happen.
Yeah. So let's keep going into examples. I know it's might seem annoying, but I want to literally ingrain this into your guys' brain to the point where you want to kill me. Okay.
No one would ever want to kill you.
Thanks, bro. So on this day, this was another, we're always having and setting ourselves conditions, right? And every time I'm coming into my morning, I have if-then statements, right? So if this happens, then I will do this, right? And what I want you guys to do when you're building your bias as well is to always be leaning somewhere. So as you can see, I'm always leaning somewhere, but I'm never going to be married to a bias. It's very rarely I'll be married to a bias, except for like very obvious days. Like I think on the first example I showed you, I was very married to this bias. I didn't even set myself a condition to be bearish because there was no reason to. But a lot of the times I am going to be having some sort of condition to be seeing either way. Now, that being said, on this day, I said I was leaning bullish, right? We have a new week opening gap lower, though, and an SMT with this buy side liquidity. So condition is this 15-minute gap. If we break it, expect the low resistance liquidity and the new week opening gap to get hit. If we hold it, I'll expect price to keep trading higher. Obvious draw on liquidity right now for ES, okay? So when I'm looking at this day, right, I can see that we're very obviously trending towards this buy side. Oh, yeah, I thought you were going to shoot me something. Right? And what I want you guys to know is that you really don't need to be like overcomplicating your bias that much, in the sense that you can very clearly see that we're just trending up, right? We're very clearly going towards a liquidity pool, being this buy side liquidity right here, right? So just be bullish until then, right? And from here, so I was saying, right, we have ES as a very obvious draw here, right? So the condition was this 15-minute gap, right? We can go up, hit this buy side, right? Because that's the obvious draw right now. And then from there, this gap will be the condition, right? What does that mean? Once we go up here, if we trade lower and respect this, where can price go? Keep going higher. If we hit this high, trade lower, disrespect this gap, then where can price go? Down towards this low resistance liquidity in the new week opening gap. Okay, so overall, going back to this, why would the market even be moving here, right? So it can move higher for a reason like this, to seek buy side liquidity, and then it can move lower to not only seek liquidity, being this low resistance liquidity that we have here, but also to rebalance this inefficiency, being this new day opening gap, right? And then the next questions we're asking ourselves is, how do I actually find my draw, right? So are we delivering from buy side or sell side? In this scenario, we would be delivering from buy side, right? If we hit this high first, And then are we going to be respecting or disrespecting PBTRADING? Well, we'll just have to see, right? If we disrespect this PBTRADING, then it's very likely we will go seek this liquidity and go rebalance towards this inefficiency. All right. So as you can see here, we end up trading higher, hitting this buy side liquidity. We end up disrespecting this fair value gap. This was our condition that we set for ourselves to be bullish and also to be bearish, right? We disrespect this, and then we trade back higher, and then we trade back up to this order block, CSD. This inversion fair value gap gets respected, and then we trade lower down towards this new day opening gap that we left for ourselves, and also simultaneously taking out all of this low resistance liquidity. So again, guys, very, very simple, but I want you to literally be asking yourself these questions every single time before you're writing out your daily bias, right? Why is the market moving here? Ask yourself that. Then ask yourself, are we delivering from buy side or sell side? And what PBTRADINGs are we respecting or disrespecting? Okay? And that's really how you'll find your bias, okay? And I'll show this one. This was a little bit more of a complicated bias, and I'll talk about this because this was a little bit more discretionary. Oh my god, I keep shaking the fucking camera. Because this bias I sent out was a little bit more discretionary, okay? And we have I think like 5 more examples. So I'm just gonna do this one really quick, okay? Now I said on this day I had a neutral bias, right? And I really want to show this because I think this is an important bias. But we have a neutral bias. We have an S&T with previous day high and a huge range from tariff news yesterday. So I can expect today to rebalance yesterday's range towards equilibrium. Right now we have an SMT with this 4 hours, so I want to see if that holds. If this holds, expect previous day high to get hit. If this SMT gets ran through, expect the unfilled 15-minute gap in equilibrium of yesterday's range. Massive move yesterday, so most likely choppier conditions for today's AM session. Be cautious. Okay, so with conditions, guys, it doesn't always have to be PBTRADINGs, right? It doesn't always have to be fair value gaps. It doesn't always have to be, okay, if this 15-minute gap gets ran through, if this hourly gets ran through, if this hourly holds or gets ran through, right? It can also be with SMTs, which is what I like to do a lot of the time. For example, here, right? We have this SMT. So if I were to be bullish on this day, I really want to see this SMT hold, right? I want to see this hold. I do not want to see this get traded through. I would want this to be the lowest point in which price wants to go. However, if this SMT does decide to get ran through, and if we want to start trading through London lows, then what can you expect? Well, we have this inefficiency here, right? So the market would be moving to rebalance an inefficiency, being the unfilled 15-minute fair value gap, and also to rebalance where? Equilibrium of this range, right? We have a very, very large impulse move up, and this is a fat range from tariff news. So price will most likely rebalance this range if this SMT here gets invalidated, okay? And I don't have a photo from my chart, but I went back on this day and showed it.
Let me just say, this is practically like when the market gives you a really big Drake candle, it needs to have a slight retracement lower so it can pop a honey pack and then give you another Drake.
Facts. Wow. That was really good.
Dab me up.
Fire.
You trade?
Nah. Do you?
No. What are we talking about right now?
I don't know. I thought we were talking about...
Real estate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like...
Buy
houses, sell low.
Yeah, right.
Like, you don't want to buy a house in a premium.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's how I was able to freelance brand scale for free. I don't know if you guys want more sauce on that. But as you can see here, I don't know why Pat had this in his thing.
It's like reverse psychology.
Right.
Like
Right.
This was back then. Like this was over a year ago, guys. And
some of you are at all-time lows.
yeah, and I wanted to stay humble. I didn't want to scare my competitors by saying I'm the best trader ever. We are the best live traders. No, I kept it a humble abode. Said we were the worst Discord, so
Nice.
nobody would join. We could gatekeep it. But then the community got kind of freaky and they started sending freaky AI pictures of us. So
Yeah, you had to delete that.
yeah, I had to delete it.
Because now it's no more.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology, now it's
Yeah.
real.
Yep.
Okay, and then as you can see, guys, we end up disrespecting this SMT here. And it was at this point where I flipped bias to down here and towards this. And we did catch a short this day towards this unfilled 15-minute gap and towards this. Pretty much all of these days, like when my bias just plays out perfectly, it's really nice because I'm able to go on the lower time frame and have that confirmation. And again, like you're finding basically every single day where the market is moving, and then on the lower time frame, you're doing the exact same thing. And then this one was just a lot of aura points on this day. I mean, this was pretty simple, right? Like we're delivering from buy side. You can explain this one.
But yeah, I mean, so this is a pretty simple day because here we have that higher time frame condition being that 4-hour bullish gap, and we're delivering from buy side, right? So here price seeked liquidity, and you can see that because what do you notice? Price was super bearish, right? Even if we look before this, we had a really strong impulse candle down. So when we have that, we can expect price to what? Rebalance this unfilled gap above. We had this unfilled 4-hour. Price does that, but then it decides I'm gonna disrespect this PD array. And when that gets disrespected, then we open up a bullish PD array. So now we're disrespecting bearish, respecting bullish. It respects this 4-hour and seeks liquidity, takes out previous day high. Now that we've taken out previous day high, we're going to set this 4 hours a condition and say if we disrespect this 4-hour bullish gap, we can expect price to go lower and seek this sell side. And as you can see, inverse is at 4-hour, seeks the sell side. Bruh, I have a chino in my mouth right now, so I sound like Orangey, but shout out Orangey. That's a fucking goat.
I love you, Orangey.
I want to play Fortnite with him.
We should live together, Orangey.
Imagine.
I think he commented that or something.
Really?
On one of.
Oh, I want to live with Orangey.
Or I think you commented that.
He has his $5,000 machine that cools his bed to whatever temperature he has.
No way.
It's insane. Yeah, insane. Here, speak for a second. I need to poop.
Type shit. So again, guys, in this scenario, let's just run over it, right? Let's just go through the mind of what I was thinking here, right? Why would the market be moving here? To seek liquidity, right? We have a really nice sell side liquidity pool right here, right? Now, how do I actually find that? Well, we're delivering from buy side, being previously high.
It was just a fart.
And then, we are disrespecting bullish PD arrays, meaning what, right? We're delivering from buy side, disrespecting bullish, meaning
literally bar for bar what we have drawn out.
Yeah. So it's very, very simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate this. Just ask yourself these questions. And this is another pretty simple bias.
Yeah, so then a bias going into this morning. This was back in January. We said, going to continue being bearish coming into the morning. I'm not gooning in the morning.
Sorry,
there are still lower targets on NQ and ES. We're still in a higher time frame sell model towards previous week low. So we have previous week low below. To continue being bearish, I would need to see EQ of the range respect that open. So here, since we had a super strong impulse candle down, we want to see price rebalance EQ to deliver lower, right? Rebalance a range and then seek that liquidity. And so then you can see.
And guys, again, don't overcomplicate this. Like, it's very obvious that we're just trending lower, right? And this is gonna sound corny, but trade with the trend. Like, the trend is your friend. I know it sounds corny, but this is way too often I see people trying to trade against the trend and trying to catch all these reversals.
That also doesn't mean you're a trend line trader, by the way, if you're trading with the trend, because you're still gonna be looking for those lower time frame confluences of price rebalancing a range on the lower time frame, confirming that narrative that you want to go lower. So even if we're trending lower, you still want to see on a lower time frame a pullback into a 5 or 15 minute and get your inversion from there.
Yeah. Also, with this, I was saying when I was talking about like EQ getting respected, this is also a condition, right? So the same way we can have conditions with like, for example, a for rally gap. Same way we can have conditions with an SMT. I said I want to see get hold. EQ of a range is also an area where you want to see get hold. Right, and you do not want to see price trading higher than like this golden pocket here, really, because if we start trading this deep into discount, most likely we are going to go to the next high. Okay, you do not want to see big pullbacks like all the way up here. Okay, so you want to see price respect equilibrium and trade into discount and then bounce from there. And then on this day, we ended up trading to that.
You can see that we ended up respecting equilibrium perfectly, and we ended up trading all the way down to previous week low. Bang, bang. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Another day, here we have also January, bearish buys coming into the day, respecting this 1 hour unicorn. What does that mean? Just a fair value gap and a breaker block overlapped. And we are in bearish order flow on the higher time frame. I'm looking to see us have an open high low close at 9:30, sweeping out the 15-minute internal high to then trade lower with us generating this trend line liquidity on the lower time frame. These stacked lows are the drawn liquidity for today. So you can see, since we're stacking up a bunch of lows, here we're respecting this hourly bearish PD array, and we have all these stacked lows below. So ideally, we'd want to see this is just our ideal scenario. We want to see 9:30 open higher so we can get a premium short to run this low resistance liquidity. And as you can see, eventually price respects this bearish hourly fair value gap, and we run all this low resistance liquidity resting down here.
Yeah, this was a really fun day to trade because it did exactly what I wanted it to do, right? We have, and again, the questions you guys have to be asking yourself, right? Why would the market be moving here? To seek liquidity, right? What liquidity pools do we have? Low resistance liquidity, we went over that, and then relative equal lows, this stacks liquidity, right? This accumulation right here. Okay, then the next question, are we delivering from buy side or sell side? We're delivering from where? Asia highs, right? So we're delivering from this buy side, and then are we respecting or disrespecting PBTRADING? Well, we are disrespecting this bullish gap. There was a little bullish gap here that got disrespected. And then what are we doing? We are respecting this bearish gap right here. So respecting bullish, disrespecting bearish, okay? Or, sorry, disrespecting bullish, excuse me. Disrespecting bullish, respecting bearish on this day. Okay, and it would now make sense for price to go lower. And on this day, again, I was saying it was really fun to trade because we did end up having like my perfect ideal scenario that I said I wanted to see happen, where we trade higher, take out this internal high, and then run lower. And as you can see, we went higher, took out this internal high on the 1 hour time frame, and then we caught a pretty nasty short on this day, targeting that low. So this was a nasty day. I remember this, but yeah. So this is going to be like the final example that I want to show you guys. This was on a day where I was not able to trade live, and I was just talking about the bias basically just through my phone. And I want to show you guys how I go about finding not only my bias, but also my entry model. So,
right, so this is going to teach you a lot about like time frame alignment because like we said, the bias is important and all. You can have the right bias, but this is what I always tell people. And I made a video on TikTok about this recently. Like, knowing where price wants to go is important, but knowing how price is going to get there is far more important. Remember, because you're not executing on the 4 hour time frame, you're not executing on the 1 hour time frame. You guys are futures traders. Most of you are trading on funded accounts, meaning your executions are going to happen between the 1 to 5 minute chart, and your trades typically don't last more than 20-30 minutes. You know what I mean? So in order to confirm a bias, we need that lower time frame confirmation, and we do this by utilizing stuff like conditions. And that's what the next video is going to be on. You guys are going to fucking love that video. It's truly like one of the best lessons, and that's how you confirm a bias with a lower time frame drawn liquidity as well, and then you get your entry. But yeah, Blake can get into this.
Yeah. So on this day, I did have a bullish bias, right? Reasoning for this was because the market would be moving in this scenario to rebalance an inefficiency, right? We had an unfilled, unmitigated gap, and we were delivering from where? Sell side liquidity. So we should go up higher to rebalance this range, right? And I said I want to see this trade up to this Delos mark. We have a MEC model, blah, blah. Okay, we'll get into models and all that later. But we end up having this S&T here, right? And price does end up eventually trading towards this 15-minute gap here, as you can see. So from here, right, we have another scenario where we can kind of have this be our, bias setter, right? Where if we want to see this get respected, it's all if-then statements, right? If this gets respected, this should then send us higher to this buy side liquidity. However, if this gets disrespected, this could send us lower, okay? And I did say I was expecting this to hold to send us higher because I was overall bullish on the day. So I said I was expecting this to hold to send us higher. And that's what I told everyone in chat. And then that did end up happening, right? So we did end up trading lower. This is like a higher time frame chart on the 15-minute, but the 5-minute did get tapped here. And then we did run to that buy side, as you can see through this wick. And then from here, I said I still like longs. Longs are setting up nice. Reasoning for that is because we left equal highs, right? So the market here is now going to still move because we want to seek liquidity. Equal highs is a very strong liquidity pool. So in this scenario, let's say we didn't leave equal highs and we just left, just a high that looks like this, right? Let's say we did this. Then at this point, then this would not have been like that good of a long, right? Because we're targeting a high right here. We're targeting this high that already got swept by this high, right? So it's going to be not as strong as a liquidity pool versus, if we had something like this. But the reason I like this so much is because we left equal highs. So price ended up doing something like this, okay? All right, so it looked like that on the lower time frame.
Also, there's one thing I do want to say, and there's this huge misconception, actually, with equal highs and equal lows. You guys need to realize, and we talked about this it's similar with like the SMT video, like SMTs form all the damn time on the lower time frame. Mm-hmm. Same thing with equal highs and equal lows. But what you need to know is you need to focus, like we said on the SMT video, at those significant liquidity pools. And the same thing applies with equal highs and equal lows. If you have, bro, like a 1 minute chart that looks like this, where you have like, back-to-back equal highs candles, it's not going to be as significant as if you had two higher time frame significant swing highs create equal highs, right? So if this looks something more like bang, bang, and then we were trading lower, and then we came back up and left equal highs at a strong liquidity pool, then that's when you would really want to pay attention to equal highs. Not just because you had two stacked candles back to back on the 1 minute chart create equal highs. No, because you created two significant highs that created equal highs. So just want to make that clear because I see a lot of people really falsely, I guess, explain and promote equal highs and equal lows online, and we want to give you guys the true sauce and not give you any stupid fucking information or concepts that aren't even valid. But
yeah. So again, from there, I was saying long, just saying I'm nice because price should seek out now this liquidity pool here.
And we'll show you what those equal highs look on the lower time frame, because on the higher time frame it looks like
I don't think I had a screenshot though.
Yeah, because that's the higher time frame. That's a 15-minute chart.
Yeah, I did actually. Okay, so from here, I actually had this opposite. Okay, so from here we did trade lower, and we did run up, take out those equal highs. So I know this is like you can't really see it that well because I'm on the 5 minute time frame, but we did have equal highs here, and then we did run up and take that. Okay, now from here I did say I was bearish, right? Reasoning for this, guys. Why should I be bearish here? Well, number one, the market has done its job, right? We seeked all really the liquidity that we could, being this buy side here, and then we seeked out these equal highs, and then we had a fat run lower, right? So from here, we are delivering from buy side, and then what are we doing now? We are disrespecting this bullish PBTRA, right? So we had a bullish PBTRA here on the 5 minute, and this got disrespected, right? Price is fractal, guys. What we're doing on the higher time frame, and when I'm showing you on my daily bias on the higher time frame, how I actually found this daily bias to begin with, I'm using that same framework on the lower time frame, right? I'm thinking about price in the same exact way, okay? And from here, I then said price is looking bearish ASF right now, okay? I said I'm now looking for this sell side, right? Because what are we doing? We're clearly disrespecting bullish gaps. We're clearly respecting bearish gaps, right? And we're very clearly trending lower, right? I don't want you guys to overcomplicate this, right? Price just looks like it's heading towards here. So that's where I'm shorting towards, okay? As you can see. And from here, I did say I want to see this send us lower. We have, a bullish, we have a change in state delivery here with this order block. So I want to see this send us lower. This could also trade up here, send us lower. And then at this point, I said I want to take something like this. I want to have an inversion for value gap here to then send us lower to short from.
And then, wait, notice this, guys.
Oh, yeah, here's the equal highs also.
Yeah, no, and there's actually more equal highs before. So right here we had equal highs, but we also had equal highs before with two significant highs, and that also got ran. And then we created three stacked highs above. Those ended up getting ran too. So same thing you see on the higher time frame, you want to see on the lower time frame. But something I want to emphasize here is notice how just because we had this super impulsive candle down and we were disrespecting bullish PBTRAs, we're not just going to short at the bottom of this. This goes back to rebalancing ranges, right? So now in the lower time frame, we want to see this impulse candle down, which we showed you looked like, looked like this impulse candle down. We want to see that range get rebalanced towards equilibrium, so then we can take shorts. So what happens? You can clearly see here that price rebalances this leg to around equilibrium, and then you would want to look from shorts from there, because if price is going to respect EQ of this range and start giving us confirmation that price wants to run lower, then now you're validating that narrative that price wants to run to that sell side. So you can keep going.
Yeah, exactly. And then I did end up taking a short from that inversion for value gap right there. As you can see, we end up trading up towards that right here, and then we end up getting our short here. And executions, I don't know what the fuck happened this day. I think I just accidentally closed and I had to re-enter my position, but as you can see, played out perfectly. And that's how I went from finding my bias to actually finding my entry. And it's pretty much utilizing all the same concepts, guys, and it's asking myself the same exact questions that I'm asking myself on the higher time frame.
Yeah, and I mean, we can show you literally what this looks like on also like real time. So if we go over, let's see, it's a bit staticky, but like let's go over like the most recent day of price action. We'll pop into the 30-minute chart here. I can delete these drawings, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll delete these.
Let me double check that's everything though. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll delete these. And now if we go into the 30-minute time frame here, which I like to use because I can see how my previous sessions are trading. We can go into a day like this, which was I think 2 days ago. And so let's look at this, right? Let's start off all the way back here. So after London session, this is around 8 a.m. pre-market. We see that pre-market sweeps out Asia highs. So we take a significant liquidity pool in the higher time frame. Now what do we notice? This range is pretty imbalanced, right? We have this really strong impulsive move. So now that we've seeked liquidity, what are we most likely going to do? We're most likely going to rebalance a range and want to hit like equilibrium of this. So if we fast forward price here, we see now we've rebalanced equilibrium. What happens? So now we're respecting this bullish PBTRA, but we're also opening up this bearish PBTRA. So how do we confirm a narrative from here? Well, we want to see what continues to be respected and what continues to be disrespected. And you see going into like 9:30, we're sort of bouncing between PBTRAs. So when we have a scenario like this, we're like, oh fuck, okay, we swept out Asia highs and we swept out London lows, and we're respecting this 30-minute bullish, and we're also respecting this 30-minute bearish. What do you think we're going to do? Nothing. We're going to sit on our hands because we don't have a clear narrative of price. We don't really know where price is going to want to go. So ideally, we set ourselves conditions, right? So if we look at like this bullish 30-minute, right here we have a bullish gap on the higher time frame, and we have a bearish gap. So my thought process with something like this would be, okay, if price decides to respect this 30-minute and then disrespect this bearish 30-minute, what's that going to tell me? We're respecting bullish, disrespecting bearish. Where are we going to go? Most likely higher. But if we end up respecting this 30-minute and we disrespect this bullish 30-minute, what can I expect? Price to seek this liquidity. Right here we have low resistance liquidity. And so I would want to look for shorts to run all this LR and take out this final sell side. As you can see, eventually you have price finally invalidate one of these levels. And now what can we expect? Price end up running all this sell side liquidity, and you can see price ends up trending lower because we are disrespecting bullish, respecting bearish, and we're taking out this liquidity and we're running all this. And yeah, I mean, that's practically putting it all together. This is like showing you a day where you start off relatively neutral and you go basing it off like higher time frame conditions and see if we're respecting bullish or disrespecting bearish.
Yeah, I can also show you guys really quick the daily bias for this. And on the higher time frame, it's might be a little bit easier for you guys to see, right? And it's the same thing. Again, you want for your highest probability setups for price to be fractal, right? So what I mean by that is you want to see models inside of models, right? So the same thing you saw on the 30-minute time frame, right, where we're bouncing between this bearish gap here, remember, and then this bullish gap here. We're doing the same exact thing on the 4-hour, right? So most likely, when we disrespect this 4-hour gap, where can you expect price to go? Lower, right? So the same thing you saw on the 30-minute time frame is happening on the higher time frame, right? And on this day, I can kind of just show you guys what I had for a bias coming into this morning. I said we're delivering from this 4-hour BISI, disrespecting this bearish, and I said, is this a for today?
That was the other day.
It was this day, right?
Right there.
Okay, right. So I did say if this ends up getting disrespected, okay? So I said we're bouncing between these two gaps. And I said I'm leaning more bearish, right? Why? Because of everything that Pat was talking about and everything is going on here, right? We're clearly respecting this gap. We also have an unfilled gap here, okay? So it makes sense for price to move lower, right? To rebalance an inefficiency. And for here, I said I need to see price close below this 4-hour. If close below, expect the unfilled 4-hour. Okay? So if we close below this, expect what? This. And then, as you can see, on this day, we end up respecting this bearish gap. We end up disrespecting this bullish gap right here. And then once we close below this is that confirmation that price wants to then head towards this low at minimum.
Yeah, and also, if you notice here, this is one of those days where we're seeking inefficiencies because we don't have like clear a sell side liquidity to target here, but we do have a clear unfilled 4-hour gap below. So we know that if this 4-hour bullish gap gets disrespected and this gets inverse and this one ends up being respected, then what can we expect? Price to go towards this next inefficiency, which is this unfilled 4-hour. And so that's really just like step by step how we build our biases and everything. And I hope you're able to now like pair these things together. I think this has to be the sauciest bias video to ever be put out on the planet. But yeah, dude, it's not about predicting the market. It's about reacting to what it's telling you. And so you slowly go from having an assumption to getting a confirmation of that assumption to then finding your execution. And I don't need to yap any longer about this. Blake doesn't need to yap any longer about this. This is genuinely everything you'll ever need to know about determining your bias. Yep. So I hope this made a lot of sense to you guys. And yeah, once again, we're sorry, bro, about putting a delay on this series, but we're going to bang it out now. And yeah, we just wanted to show you guys a little bit about who Blake and I are, because all we ever did was give you a like lore video, but we didn't really show you our lifestyle outside of trading, and we don't just want to be like traders to you guys, we also want to be like regular people. But yeah, I mean, this was our ICT for Dummies episode 10 on daily bias, and share this shit with your friends, bro. Show people this is really how you determine your bias. We are quite literally giving you every sauce you need. No one that you find online is going to be this transparent and show you this level of information. That's just a reality, and that's not me being like egotistical. We just genuinely like have always wanted people to know exactly how we go about it, bro. We've been fucking crushing in the markets for a long time, consistently pulling in 6-figure months. I mean, recently it's been insane. I've won like the last, I don't even know, fucking 16 out of like 18 trades.
And I'm showing you this, guys, literally right in front of your face. I literally predict the market every single day for you guys in the daily bias in our premium Discord, and we're also showing you this.
Yeah, but you don't need the Discord. You don't need shit. At the end of the day, you just need to be like willing to put the time to learn. So if you can watch this video, take notes on it, and start applying it, and like go through previous day bros, and like use our thought process to build your narrative, you're gonna realize that your bias is right all the time. But this is only, one piece of the puzzle. Then figuring out those lower time frame drawn liquidities, getting those entries is also another thing. But we really did show you everything that you need in this video, and this was a main focus on bias, but we even went into like lower time frame drawn liquidities, went into entries, and like we said, this is all fractal. So the same thing we're looking on the higher time frame, we're looking for on the lower time frame. And yeah, we're gonna keep pushing out some gnarly ass videos like this, sort of just free flowing through shit. You can see that this video is completely unedited, and this is what we do every single day. That being said, we fucking love you guys, and thank you so much for watching our ICT for Dummies episode 10 on daily bias, and we'll catch y'all.
What was that?
What?
You didn't even no song, no nothing. That was depressing.
Give me a beat.
Wait.
Hey. Oh, I hear you're doing here. Bitch, I'm PBTRADING, disrespecting, respecting. If we respect bearish, then I'm bearish bias. Hey, I feel like Adele. Sucking on your balls. Oh my god, bro. Fuck. It's not my day. It's not my
Bitch,
day.
I feel like ICT. I got these sell side imbalances. I'm filling it up. Yeah, wait. Okay, here. Okay, check it. Bitch, I feel like that's my draw. I'm hitting that liquidity. Bitch, I feel like an inefficiency. I'm feeling that shit. I don't think it's any of our days.
Nah, it's not our days. Give me one more. Just one more try.
Okay, one more try.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah. Hey. Higher time frame. Ooh, wow.
Guys, lock the fucking. I swear we do this first try.
We're actually so good at the get.
We actually do this first try.
This is usually so much better.
We're looking nervous.
Okay. Yeah, why am I so nervous, bro?
Lock the fucking. All right, ready? I'm here to fire.
Yeah. Yeah. On the lower time frame, bitch, I find a fair value gap. If I see that thick booty, bitch, I'm finna slap. Executing on the 1 to 5 minute. You already know that I'm always fucking stinging, bitch. I'm catching all these trades, bitch. I'm always getting laid. 18 fucking wins, bitch. You know I'm getting paid, and I do it crazy, bitch. None of this shit fugazi. Patty and Blake, we don't do this shit. We lazy. That didn't make any sense. Yo, left curve gang. Determine my bias. Yeah, I'm Asian, so I eat rice.
How do you end the show?
Just end it right now.
How do you end it?
End it right now.